Ausar Thompson, how high are we on him this season? Look, I'm probably the highest. Now, I was going to do this as a short. Apparently, that's a thing. You only get 60 seconds in a short. Now, I tried to record, and honestly, 60 seconds is not enough time for me to talk about Ausar Thompson, let alone any NBA player. So I thought I'd just do this as a short, maybe a 3 to 5 minute YouTube, Twitter video, just focusing on Ausar Thompson. Can he be a top 50 player this season? Where should we be drafting him? A lot of questions. For me, yes. I think the answer is yes to that question. I think he can be a top 50 player. Look, if we look back to last year, obviously he came into the season injury cloud, blood clots. So he missed games. He was managed. The minutes never really ramped up like we thought that they would. He did move into the starting lineup, but they were still cautious with him. Let's put it that way. If we look at his numbers, I've got them here from the last few months of last season. Let's take the last month. So 14 games. He was the 93rd ranked player. So let's say a top 90 player. Keep it simple. 25 minutes a game, 12 points, almost 6 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 2.5 steals and blocks. So that's where he gets a lot of his value from, steals and blocks. Basically 50% from the field. That's going to stick. He doesn't shoot a lot of threes. He was at 0.2 3-pointers. So we know we're not getting a lot of them. Though I will say I think we get more. I think we maybe he pushes up to 0.4, 0.5. Continues to increase across his career because they are going to need him to at least be a threat. Now, reliable threat, that's debatable, but a threat nonetheless. And as I said, top 90 player, 25 minutes. What are we looking at this season? So I guess that's the question. Detroit a position to make a pretty big push. I think arguably into the top 4 this season in the East. I've got a few teams in that range, probably 5 teams if I'm being honest. So someone will miss out. But I think Detroit are positioned really well. It would make sense that they're going to start him and just play him 30 minutes. And obviously, if we were short of that, then we probably wouldn't be having this discussion. And if he could somehow push to 32, 33 minutes, then I absolutely think he could, he'd be a top 50 player, top 30 potentially. We have a blueprint. We have Amen Thompson, his brother. Now, I'm not saying that Ausar is going to do what Amen did last season, but they are very similar in what they bring to the court on the defensive end. I think Amen, obviously, in a slightly more favourable position, especially this season with no Fred VanVleet. His assist numbers will probably go up a little bit. Just more opportunities, I think. But Ausar is going to be key for Detroit if they want to make some real noise this season. What can we expect from him? Look, let's conservatively say 30 minutes. And then based on what he did last season in those sort of 25 minutes, I think we're probably looking at 14 points. I don't think he'll push beyond 15. He's a good rebounder. 6.5 to 7 rebounds, I think, is realistic. The assist numbers not as high as Amen, maybe 3. He was at 2.4 during that time I talked about last season. I think he can push to 3. What can he do on the defensive end? That's the question. I mean, defensive end, could he get 3 defensive stats? I mean, that's elite in anyone's book. Could he push to 3 defensive stats a game? Likely to be something around 2 steals and 1 block. I think he probably can. I think there'll be fluctuations. Obviously, there always is on that end. But yeah, look, 3 defensive stats, a guy that's shooting 50 minimum from the floor, maybe 52, 53. Not really hurting you in terms of those percentages because he's not going to take a lot of threes. The free throws are another question. He was at 64% last year, but if we look at the last month, as I said, that those 14 games there, he did bump that up to 75%, which are absolutely passable. 3 free throws a game. So it's not nothing. It's certainly going to mean that your free throws take a hit. Can he push to like 72, 73 for the season? He probably can. Whether he does, another question. But look, I think best case, he probably pushes inside the top 30. His floor, assuming he plays 30 minutes this season, is probably top 70 to top 80. At the moment, you can get him in that range. I'm absolutely comfortable taking him inside the top 70 with a view to him being much better in the punt builds that I typically do. So punting points, punting threes, punting free throws. I lean into that build quite often. And he moves up to be basically a top 10 player in a build like that. So absolutely not saying you have to take him there, but I'm comfortable taking him in that range. In the old man squad mock that we're doing at the moment, I believe Noah Rubin took him maybe at about pick 60. Now, he may have done that to annoy me because he knew that I was looking at Ausar in that range. I can't speak for Noah. But, can he be a top 50 player? Yes, I think he can. Where do you have to take him? Look, the later the better, obviously. And if we keep pumping up, he's probably going to push inside the top 70, top 80. I think he's ADP. But at the moment, if you're drafting and you can get him later, I would do that. I'm all aboard Ausar this season. Let me know if you like this video. I'm thinking I might do more sort of 5-minute quick hits on certain players. If you've got anyone you want me to talk about, just shoot through a message to me or comment on this video, and I'll fire out some more videos. They're very easy. They don't take me any time. Happy to do it. Let me know. Follow, like, do all of that stuff. Thanks, guys.